In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. Today, we're going to have a chance to talk about marketing in general and get some perspective from Sam Winderö. And I'm sorry, Sam, you might have to say your last name for me.
Yeah, that's not easy. Thank you, Emanuel, for having me. Winderö is the Swedish pronunciation of my last name. Winderö works as fine.
We'll just call that the American version.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, thanks for spending some time here in this conversation. I think you've got a great background in marketing, and I'm curious just a little bit more about your background and set the stage for how you're interested in AI and maybe just a little bit about how you're using it.
Absolutely. I mean, I worked in marketing for soon 15 years actually, and I think it's been an ever-evolving thing. Marketing is not something standing still. It always needs to evolve, and try new things and stuff. And been working in different SaaS companies, in product companies, in one of the biggest brands in Sweden with communication and marketing for many years. And when AI just came to talk about, when everyone was on their keyboards typing in chat GPT and understanding what that was also when I did it. Sure. And it's been just an evolving thing in my mind and my thoughts, like how can we really utilize AI in this version and how it looks today to optimize marketing.
Nice. And so, I mean, you're using it every day, I would imagine, some form of AI?
Absolutely. I mean, before we even knew we were using AI, we actually used AI. It was embedded in different applications of things we used. But now I'm also proactively using it, choosing to use it, trying it in different type of techniques and trying to achieve different things to see how AI can help me to optimize my way of working and being faster, being better, being more precise in my operations.
Nice. Well, if we look at a marketing campaign from ideal client profile to content journey, all the way through to making somebody an advocate, that giant process, where are you spending your most time applying AI tools that you're interacting with right now?
To be honest, there is a lack of a full 360 in the whole customer journey of working with marketing and AI. Yeah. I think there's a lot of tools that we try to build together to optimize operations. And what I've been looking at in my team and what we're looking at right now is how can we utilize AI in those different steps that we work internally and in the customer journey externally. And disappointingly, we can't see that we can use AI in every step of the journey. There are different applications that we, however, can use to optimize and make us faster, make us more targeted, and in the analysis phase, for instance. And I think we still aren't really where we can say we can put AI in every step of the workflow and make that work from a marketing perspective. But there's a lot of great tools out there to help us and that enhances our operations rather than solves them or places a human being, so to speak.
For sure. Wow. Okay. So what part of the customer journey are you able to enhance with AI right now, you and your team?
So I think from a copy perspective is one really great example where you can actually help in writing copy. You can prompt AI with tone of voice or brand personality and actually help yourself to build copy if it's social media posts or articles. It's also great for spell checking and for checking your copy towards your brand guidelines, for instance. Another area is imagery and some editing. I think one of the things that I use most frequently is actually not a full AI production of a picture, but it's enhancing a picture. It's removing things from pictures. It's widening the angle, so it's the right format for a specific media, for instance.
Yeah.
And that's where AI is perfect. It looks perfect, but it's still unique because it's our own picture that we're just alternating to make it fit the media, rather than having a full production of a picture, for instance.
Yeah, I like that. So you're looking at it as a very refined scalpel in that situation, instead of trying to create the whole image.
I think, like, when it comes to marketing, some people and some companies use stock and it works well for them. In many industries, in many companies, you don't want to use stock fully. You can use it partly, but it becomes very evident from the perspective of the audience in the customer experience and building that customer journey, if it's stock image, if it's fake image. And that's why I think enhancing is great, but in the same way that we don't want to replace all our imagery with stock image, we can't essentially just produce imagery. I've seen some great campaigns, video campaigns, where I think it was one for Volvo cars that someone else like randomly made for the car, and it looked so great. It was like on brand and everything. So I think there are opportunities for certain things, but as far as I can do in my team's regular operations, it's not really sophisticated enough to handle what we need to handle.
Yeah, it's still developing, but I think we're on the short timeline for when we'll be able to put in a CSV of image needs, and we'll start getting outputs. What do you think about that?
I agree with you. I think we need to look at AI in very like month to month or week to week, because development goes so really, really fast from the first chat GPT version that we saw some time ago till now. It's evolved a lot, and I think also how we work with it will evolve a lot in the next months and years. So we can't say like, AI is not for us right now. We sit back and we do what we always have done. I think we really need to embrace and look at technology as it evolves and try and test continuously, because suddenly there will be something. And if we're not on top of it when it comes to being a marketeer, I think we may fall behind so far we can't recover as a professional in the industry of marketing, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Sam, that it's kind of like if you're a bookkeeper and you decide you didn't want to go to do QuickBooks online, you just wanted to keep doing it right by ledger. You've lost some ability to be current. I wanted to ask you just a couple ideas for somebody who's just getting started using AI. What are like for chat, for instance? What are some of your guiding principles for prompt development when you're just getting started?
That's a good question, and we've actually been working on that, and we're discussing setting up in our company where I work right now, kind of some guidance and help to prompt AI for your queries. For instance, for making sure that it's on brand voice, or it measures towards the brand personality we want to portray. I think there is a lot of things that you need to think of to really create the right type of prompts. And I've tried some different things. We've done some templating in different text AIs, for instance. We have used Claude AI, ChatGPT as two examples. And the thing is, however, we've seen that it's been a bit irregular. So one time it worked and one time it didn't in the same tool, even if we had the same prompt. There are some baseline of prompts that you always, I think we all know we can do now. But in addition to that, to make that kind of, brand experience pop, or to that really work, it is still a little bit clunky. And I imagine that will change within weeks. But I think the baseline is to have very clear queries, and to not go too like creatively fluffy around what type of words you use when you prompt it, right? It's very clear, precise, and precise. And what I like with Claude AI, for instance, as one example, is that I can actually input like a document where I say like, use this document as a reference for copy. That works best to make the right type of voice and usage of words. Even you can even add like words not to use and words to use to really help you streamline that. And that has worked really, really well.
Yeah, I agree with you. So yeah, you want to have the exclusion words so you don't get journey and some of these other words that it overuses. And B, I love the idea of reference material, and I think that's critical. That you have some complete finished product that you love, that you're always referencing, and then giving this very clear, and it's got to be iterative. That's what I've seen. Like it could be 15 different prompts that you end up giving the GPT, even if it's Claude or Chat or any of them, in order to get the output you need. Is that what you found?
Yeah, most definitely. And I think also what you can create, and what I'm looking at us to create at our company where I work right now, is actually like a document that is a ready PDF you just upload every time with the baseline. And then you prompt the actual thing that contextual around the message you want to write. So if it's an article, then you can prompt it around that thing. So the actual promption of what you want to write about is prompted directly into the chat, but you also then add that PDF link to it. And Claude AI, for instance, really works well with combining those two and making an effort. You need to do some adjustments still, but I think in the baseline, it's a really great starting point.
I think that's a great idea, a great concept of having a brand book or an initial document like that everybody uses. And you're going to get much cleaner content out of that.
But I long to the time when we don't need that, when we can just build that into the kind of AI that you use at a company, and then it works for everyone. But we're not really there yet, what I have found. If someone has an idea of that, please share it. But for now, that's still the way. But I think it can change any day.
Well, it's interesting. I think it's kind of like a combination of a wiki and a GPT. That's a business's IP, right?
Yeah, Emanuel, I agree with you. Yeah.
And I am talking in a future episode with a man named Ian Evanstell, who his company is building these environments and primarily focusing on universities, and so that all the papers that have been created by the professors are all housed in this kind of environment that you're speaking about. But
that's super cool.
I think it's clever, though. What you're saying is, and I think that's a great point, is that we should be building these brand books that are constantly being referenced by the GPTs in order to get cleaner content.
And what we've also seen actually is like those brand books need to look different now than they did before, right? Because how we even write the copy and text in the brand books needs to be different to be caught up by AI in the best possible way.
How's that? How does it need to be written differently?
So it needs to be precise. It needs to be much more implicit on things to use and not to use. It can't be like when we humans read things, we interpret and we understand it. It doesn't interpret in that exact same way. So you need to try it and adjust it a bit. That's what I've seen. I haven't really done this yet. This is still an idea, and like we're still trying things out. I think that's where we are, and so I can come back to you on that one. Let us try it and see how we can do it good. But I think that is the essential learning I've had so far. Like you need to tweak it, and you need to probably try it a few different times, especially if you have a wide range of content pillars of things you talk about. It may be that it works for one part of what you're writing about, but not another part, for instance, because it varies depending on topic. I also want to say one thing when it comes to AI. I think if you look at a bigger team, if you look at like 4, 5, 6 marketing people working, I think AI still has a bit to come. But if you're a small team, if you're 1-2 person marketing team in a startup or scale up where you're very small and autonomous, I think you can actually, even to a wider extent, use AI to succeed, because it is a different type of tactic and approach you need to do. So I think also AI actually has different usage depending on what business you have, what type of industry you're in, and also what your needs are. So I think it also varies a lot when it comes to everything we just talked about. And it's not like one plug and play for everyone. And I think that's what some people sometimes miss in their thinking. It's like, I do what they do, but that won't work for them because of the context that they're working and operating in.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and I agree with you that for a small marketing team, and like you're saying, startup or scale up, there's so much leverage that is created by in terms of planning and creating content calendars and getting initial content put together, video editing, and the rapidity that you can take pieces like this and turn it into consumable content. It is a big lever that equalizes the playing field. It's pretty cool.
Super cool.
I I have a question for you, and it's okay if you don't know, but have you done any work yet around this kind of GEO, this generative engine optimization, where instead of SEO, we're talking about GEO? This is
It's funny. I am actually researching it, and I'm looking into it, and it's on my backlog to talk to my SEO expert at our company to like look how can we do this? What can we use around this? And one fun thing that I can tell you. So my boss actually and I talked, and she really promoted us having a summer intern that would be focusing on how you could essentially swap out the full marketing team for AI. So we have had a summer intern doing that this summer, and she has
wow.
a lot of great findings that she's going to report in just a few weeks on kind of different tools. And she's been going, deep on the deep side of AI tools and different things, just like this, to
Yeah.
see how you can do it. Her finding initially is that you can't replace a team of our size, like 8 people, but there is definitely a lot of benefits, and there's a lot of new things that, just like the one you just talked about, where I just think this is going to change the playing field.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean with we can't sit and wait. We need to engage, try, test it, and put it into our context and just see where it goes, because that's the exciting time we're in right now.
No, I agree with you, and I mirror the enthusiasm that you have for it, and I think that we need to look at it as this tool that how is it going to free us up to do more thinking, more creative work, talk to our customers instead of guessing about our customers, right? Like, how does it free us up to go and do other things rather than the redundant tasks we've been doing?
I mean, on that topic, like the analysis and sorting market data has just become so much easier with
Yeah.
AI. I can, just prompt like find reports on this and this and this, and I get some report. It's not perfect, but it gives me enough nudge to not sit there for hours and search. And then I can actually save all of that data into a document and then ask AI to analyze it and get the full bullets on how it connects.
Yep.
And that helps me a lot. It doesn't solve it. It doesn't finish the job that I need to do, but it really speeds up the time I need to spend on meticulous things that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I agree. And the ability to summarize giant documents like you're talking about, or strategic planning meetings, right? 2 or 3 days worth of meetings that you can turn into action items very quickly. So,
Yeah.
The human spark is still going to be needed, I believe, even in 5 years. We're still going to need the creativity of the human.
I think so too, and I think also you're on a thing that I think is so important to stretch when it comes to marketing, probably more fields, but I think it's an enhancement of our way of working. So many are focused on embedding AI into their product or to their solution, but if you start by just trying to use it in your management, in your planning, in saving time, in scheduling, in note keeping, and all of those kind of things, that's going to help you a lot in this stage we're in with AI. And then I think in a few months, weeks, years, I don't want to even estimate timelines here. I think that's where we can start, okay, embed it into our own like products and solutions. But if we don't start with the simple things or the smaller things, we will never know and understand how we can really utilize AI for the benefit for our customers. So it's a stepping stone you need to take and explore, I think.
Yeah, I think that's great. I agree with you 100%, Sam. That's pretty wise, which is start testing and experiencing it, and then figuring out how to integrate what we have now. And as it gets more sophisticated and complicated, you'll be right on track.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, are there some projects that you're working on that you wanted to talk about? Any side projects or new companies that you're working with?
I mean, there are some small things and bits of pieces I'm doing, but I really want to like I think I've become stuck a little bit on this thing where everyone is stressing so much over, building something with AI, so they forget to what we just talked about, like embedding it and utilizing the values and small bits and pieces of it that actually works. And I think that's really where I'm excited right now, because I'm looking at optimization in work life and in things I do rather than the big project. And I think that for me, I think that will help me to push into where it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of companies offering AI or even startups, like we have AI like powered whatever, and it's actually not AI powered, and it's not very sophisticated, it's not very tested, and doesn't really create that value that's needed.
Right.
So I have nothing like super exciting to share, but I think what is exciting right now is the exploration and the analysis phases of like understanding how you can use it, and that period of like thinking creatively is not to be underestimated.
Yeah, that's we're in agreement there. I love it. Well, how do people get in touch with you if they want to have a conversation, Sam?
I mean, LinkedIn is the best option, I would say. You can just search for my name and you will find me. I'm the only one with my last name in the world, so it's easy to find. And in comparison to many others, I haven't stated myself as an AI expert. I don't think that's like anyone can really title themselves with that right quite yet, and it annoys me a little bit when people do, because there needs to be so much like understanding of how you use it, and also testing it and having data on success and failures. So you won't find me as an AI expert, but you will find me as a passionate marketeer that love people, and yeah.
All right, I'm with you. I love it. You're an AI enthusiast, and
for sure.
I'm there with you. I appreciate you taking some time this evening to chat with me, and I would like to have you back on and talk to you about what your intern finds out, and share with us whatever you can from that study.
I will look forward to it. I will make sure. Maybe she can join and we can talk together or something.
I would love that.
For inviting me and giving me some time. It was super fun talking to you as always. So thank you a lot for that as well.
Absolutely. It's been nice seeing you, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.